Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers at home. My name remains Adeotola Today Michael. I am a teacher on bioinformatics, and today we have come to look at bioinformatics, the course that will rule digital space till 2050 and beyond. Looking at this, you will know the importance of bioinformatics. That is, bioinformatics is going to remain relevant till 2055. That is almost 30 years and even beyond that. And in this presentation, you are going to see why bioinformatics is so important and one of the reasons why we should not at any point in time joke with bioinformatics. And this is another opportunity to look at unveiling the future of digital space, that is of biological data, in terms of its relevance in health and science. Definition of bioinformatics. Don't forget that at this point in time, we are already familiar with what bioinformatics is all about, and that is the use of computational tools. That is the use of computational tools to collect, analyze, and interpret biological data. It is also important to define bioinformatics as a kind of bridge between biology and computer science that is used to solve complex biological and human problems. Um, so, what are the importance of bioinformatics in modern science and technology? Firstly, it enables massive handling of biological data, which is very, very useful in genomics, which is the study of genes, and proteomics, that is the study of proteomics, that is the study of different types of protein. By this time around, you are already aware of the importance of gene. If you want to know the information about any particular organism, what you need to do is just to make sure that you get information about the genetic makeup of that individual. And once you are able to do that, you already have the clue of all the information that is present in that living organism. Then an attempt to also interpret what proteins are, that is the study of proteomics. So that is also that. So bioinformatics will enable us to be able to analyze every information that concern with gene and protein. Then it is also going to be a driver for innovation in healthcare, not only in healthcare, also in pharmaceutical companies as well as in modern research. So we can actually see some of the importance of bioinformatics to technology. Then the next one is essential. Bioinformatics is so essential in understanding life, not only the general way of understanding life. You will understand life in at molecular level, and whatever happens, whatever information that you have about any organism, if you don't have the information at molecular level, that means you do not have enough information about that individual organism. Now, bioinformatics, don't forget, in 2025, where are we in bioinformatics? As at now, as at today, bioinformatics in 2025 has been able, and that is the point at which we are, decoding of DNA sequences in order to identify genetic variants and mutation. Apart from that, it is also at this point in 2025 that everybody or every bioinformatician should be able to apply bioinformatics to understanding ancestry, disease prediction, as well as evolutionary prediction or evolutionary studies about any organism. And apart from that, at this 2025, bioinformatics has enabled us to know more information about drug discovery in an attempting to talk about virtual screening of molecular docking for rapid drug candidates. We already know that we already have a lot of information about drug that are very much around up to today. So then, as at 2025, bioinformatics has actually, we are talking of personalized medicine. I've been telling us about the word personalized. Word personalized is individualism. That is, how can we at medical level, in terms of prescription, in terms of diagnosis of diseases. So by 2025 now, we have been able to tailor different treatments based on the individuality of that organism. So by collecting all genetic profile about an individual, we are able to personalize treatment as well as other things. Then apart from that, personalized medicine has enabled us through bioinformatics to enhance efficacy and maintain side effects about some organism. Then in terms of shaping the trend in bioinformatics towards 2055, trend in shaping bioinformatics towards 2055, the first thing is, as a bioinformatician, everything you do now is towards artificial intelligence and machine learning. So there is hardly anything that you can do in any field now that the artificial intelligence is not going to do it for you at your fingertip. So by 2055, we are expected, that is, if you still want to be relevant by that time, you need to immerse yourself in understanding artificial intelligence and the use of machine learning in learning biological data. And now, and as it is also going to give you what is going to be in 2055, you should be able to automate data in analysis and pattern recognition. And by that time, you should be able to have a predictive modeling for disease outbreak and treatment responses. And by that time, that is 2055 and beyond, don't forget that is a vision. The vision is to make sure that we are relevant till 2055 and even beyond that. So that means if you want to be relevant, you need to know and be able to store data and be able to process data effectively. So a time is coming that even if there is no other job elsewhere, if there is no any other thing that you can do elsewhere, you should be very relevant to the level that anybody from any part of the world should be able to send you biological data, and you should be able to make use of your bioinformatics knowledge to be able to analyze that data, no matter how complex the data could be, no matter how numerous that data could be. Once you go to NCB High now and you retrieve any information about any organism, a layman is going to tell you that what kind of nonsense data is this going to be, and because of the enormosity of that data. So as at that time, you should be able to, as a bioinformatician, you should be able to get data no matter how huge it could be, and use that data to make some meaning. Then apart from that, you should be able to enable global collaboration. Once you are a bioinformatician, that means you can collaborate with any company around the world. You could be in Nigeria and you could be working for any biotechnology company anywhere in the whole world. They will not know. So that means you are still very much relevant till then. Okay. So the next thing is as a quantum computing potential. So bioinformatics is also very relevant, and you should be able to do that in to be able to solve very complex problem beyond the reach of classical computers. One of the differences between a bioinformatician and a computer scientist is that a computer scientist is going to make use of classical computers in maybe interpreting mathematical data, but you as a bioinformatician, you are just employing uh, computer or computer science or knowledge in computer science to be able to analyze biological data. So then apart from that, you should be able to potentialize your breakthrough in protein folding. I told you that as a bioinformatician, there are two important things that you must know how to do. Number one, you should be able to recognize and you should be able to know about you should be able to know about the drug discovery as well as genome assembly. Apart from that, application of bioinformatics in the next decade, apart from how it is going to be very useful to you now and then, the next decade that is going to be 2030, 2025, 35 and 40, what could be the application of bioinformatics in the next decade? The first thing is that it is going to be very relevant in predictive health analysis. That is, you can use your knowledge in bioinformatics to be able to forecast disease risk using your genomic data and lifestyle to generate your data. That is, at any point in time, in the next decade, you could be able to sit somewhere and tell your patient might not even be here, your patient could be at anywhere in the whole world, and you should be able to do the diagnosis. You should be able to apply the diagnosis to bioinformatics in diagnosing it as well as doing that. Then, by your knowledge in bioinformatics, that can actually predict. Nowadays, we are using bioinformatics to predict some cells that are going to be cancerous in the next few years, because application of bioinformatics is even around us. So bioinformatics is going to be still relevant in the next decade. Then in the next decade, you should be enable your knowledge in preventive healthcare and early intervention. So what we are saying in essence is that by that time, you don't need, some people will not need to get sick before they will know that they will be sick at any point in time. So by application of our knowledge in bioinformatics, that one is going to help us to be able to predict when do we fall sick, when are we going to be cured of it, and what are the necessary measures that we need to put in place so that we will not become sick. Then, in the next few decades, bioinformatics is going to be very useful in genomic editing and CRISPR development. What do we mean by genomic editing? That is, you should be able to pick any DNA, and the way you edit when you type, the way you edit your manuscript is the same way that as a bioinformatician you can also edit it, because what you just do is you must have collected enough data about an organism, and that data, I told you that the DNA has fundamental alphabets, which are G, that is guanine, cytosine, adenine, and thymine. The way you combine this data will actually make meaning to you, just the way your name is being written and you are being called. You must have put some alphabet in place to form your name. For example, now, if your name is Bola, that means you need to combine B with O, with L, and A in order to be answered that name. So the same way, whenever it is, if Bola is now misspelled, if it is misspelled and somebody who is a novice just misspell your name, irrespective of whether all the alphabet that are supposed to be there are there, but your name is misspelled, you'll be able to edit it and say, oh, B should come before O, L should come before A. So the same way that bioinformatics is going to be used in editing genomic data in the next decade. Then apart from that, there is what we call agricultural genomics. So as a bioinformatician, you could be very, very relevant to the level that you will be able to help our farmers in ensuring food security. What you will do as a bioinformatician is just to have knowledge about the weather. So with your knowledge in bioinformatics, it's going to help you to be able to generate data so that you'll be able to predict the weather even before it comes. So ensuring food security for a growing global population. So your knowledge in bioinformatics is going to help you. So the next thing is, what are the in bioinformatics? What are the career paths? I used to tell people that bioinformatics is just more than a course. It's not just a course. It is a career. It is a profession. Just the same way that you have a medical doctor getting their own certificate before they will be able to practice. So the same way and the same tone that you should take bioinformatics to be a path, to be a career. So as a career or as a career person in bioinformatics, you can be a bioinformatics specialist. So what are the job of bioinformatics specialist? The first job, their first role and responsibility is those one that will be involved in designing algorithm and software to be able to analyze biological data. Then as a bioinformatics specialist, your job is also to be a consultant on different projects across research. It doesn't actually mean that because you are a biologist, you cannot still analyze data that will be coming from chemistry. It doesn't mean that because you are not from other fields. So with your knowledge in bioinformatics, with your career in bioinformatics, you should be able to do that. Not only do it, you should be able to do it and function very, very efficiently and effectively in understanding. There are some, you could be a consultant to different biotechnological companies around the world. Once you have certificate for that, they will surely seek for you, because bioinformatics is not just a career. It is not just, it is not just a course, but a career, a discipline, a profession that even you can stand and have your own office. And where will your office be? Your office is just going to be your computer, and you have as an internet and have access to different data around the world. Then you can also be a genomics data analyst. What are the job of a genomic analyst? Number one is to interpret complex genomic data sets, which can be used for clinical and research purposes. So you can just say you don't want to specialize on it. You can have your own job somewhere. It could be your knowledge as bioinformatician. You just tell them you are still an analyst. You can analyze their data that has to do with a genome and some other things. Then apart from that, you should be able to generate actionable insights that can be used for decision making. There are so many decisions in health, in industries, in so many parts of the facet of life, that the policy makers are just making policy, and that policy is not actually working. For example, now, if somebody should ask you, what are the policy on education now? Some of these policies are not even based on research. But as a bioinformatician, you should be able to generate data that is going to help people to make informed informed decision in making the right, not only any decision, but to make the right decision. You can also be a computational biologist. So although you could just be an environmental biologist, yeah, that is fine. But what part of environmental biologists are you? So as a computational biologist, what are your job description? Number one is to be using different models in simulating and understanding complex biological systems. So what will you be doing is just to model. You are going to model, simulate, and use your bioinformatics experience to be able to understand complex biological systems. Then another thing is you should be able to collaborate with experimental scientists. So you can just specialize in being a biologist that will just stay on computer. So you can still collaborate with different companies, different laboratories around the world in order to make use of your knowledge in bioinformatics to be able to analyze their own data and validate it as well. For example, we have a different set of people that basically for their own project, what they are doing is just vaccine design. So it is after they must have designed that vaccine that they will now have to collaborate to make sure that the data that they have computationally is something that will also help those lab scientists to be able to validate their result. And from what you can see on the screen, you will see that there is a side to experimental biologists. They are the one that will be involved in complex wet lab system. So they deal with different equipments. They deal with the analysis of this their data and the like. So, but the computational biologists, they will be somewhere that they cannot function without experimental biology. One of the reasons why up to today generating vaccine against TB is still a major problem and is still an uphill task up to today is because there has not been any collaboration between computational biologists as well as those ones that are from computational biology system. Okay, now why? The next question is why must it is a must it is a must that you must learn bioinformatics, not tomorrow. It is now. One of the reasons why I said you should learn it now is that number one, there is now an high demand and high demand for bioinformaticians around the world. And when they are demanding for them, they are demanding for them with very lucrative salaries. So because there is increasing job opportunity across earth, across agriculture and technological sectors. And in fact, there is a kind of competitive pay that is reflecting in terms of their specialization. So from what you can see from the screen, you can see some people as a bioinformatician, they are still getting as much as $120,000 per month. So, and what they get this year is not what they are going to get next year. So, because there is a high demand for who is a bioinformatician. Then the next thing is why one of the reasons why you must learn bioinformatics now is that it is the only field that integrates biology with IT, that is informational technology, integrate it with mathematics and also integrate it with statistics. So that is the reason why you must learn bioinformatics now. It is a discipline. It is a career that that span across different disciplines like informational technology, mathematics, as well as statistics. Then the next one is to contribute to global challenges like pandemic, food security, and climate change. So you can see the relevance of bioinformatics even to environmental biology now. So food security is part of our job. Climate change prediction is part of our job. Then apart from that, there are endless research and development opportunities. So whereby that constantly evolving field of technologies, and there are opportunities to publish, patent whatever you have written. For example, if you are able to use bioinformatics tools to generate vaccine, and that vaccine is now being very, very useful and being produced in large quantity, you have the right to patent it. You have the right patent it. You have the right to copyright it. You have the right to innovate it and have access to it for the rest of the time. The next thing is certification and professional growth. So apart from that, I don't actually need to tell you the importance of getting certificate in this. Thank God that last year some of you got that certificate. So, and don't forget that certificates might not be useful immediately. Sometimes once you have that certificate, you don't know when and how it is going to be very, very useful, because of one reason: it will validate your experience and improve your employability. So if you have three people that are competing for the same job, and one person is claiming that yes, he's also a bioinformatician, but out of the three, only one of them has, only one of them have a certificate to show for it, you will see that the person that is certificated is the only one that is going to get employed. Then apart from that, continuous learning and community engagement, I want you to see it as an opportunity. Being certified in bioinformatics will help you to be able to collaborate and get to attend seminars, workshop, and network anywhere. So, and that it should be able to help you to build supportive community for growth and mentorship. So the call now is to be a new bioinformatician, that as you are graduating, you are also a graduate of bioinformatics, because you don't know what is going to actually give you your job. It's going to also allow you to have access to different industries, and you are going to have a lot of industrial application of this. Then it is going to boost your credibility and your feasibility around the world. So the call to action, finally, bioinformatics is a key to unlocking the future. If there is no door, if there is a door that any other thing cannot open, bioinformatics has the key to open it. Then it's also going to prepare to be at the forefront of scientific discovery. So I want to encourage you to stay in your bioinformatics journey as at today. What you do is to begin learning and practicing bioinformatics, not tomorrow, but also yes. So thank you for your attention, and I want to thank you sincerely for that. So I don't know, this is a question and answer time. I don't know if there is any question to that effect. So the whatever might be your question, I'm going to respond to it um, behind the scene, and you just put it on the comment section, and so that I'll be able to attend to it. Once again, I really want to appreciate your listening attention and your interest. That is the major thing, your interest in being